Hello, audience. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
Hello.
And today we're coming back at you guys with episode 2 of Recommendation Mondays. Now, this is the show where Justin recommends me a movie, I recommend him a movie, we go watch that, and we come back and we review those movies. Now, this week, we kind of have a new design for Recommendation Mondays.
And we edit now.
And we edit now. So last week we basically had the trial run for it was the first show, and we kind of had a trial run, but now we have a new templates, new designs, new stuff, and hopefully, if anybody out there is watching this, you'll enjoy it because it looks pretty good and it's cool. So yeah, anything you want to say, Justin?
No, I'm just excited to get into this.
All right. So since I think I went last week first, I'm gonna let you go first this week for telling me what I'm gonna be watching.
So, this movie is recently released on in digital HD, so you can find
I know what it's gonna
so you can
be.
find it online.
I know what it's gonna
The
be.
movie you're going to be watching this week is Now You See Me Too.
Okay. Yeah, I knew. So it was either a toss up in my head. Either you were going to recommend me Pop Star or Now You See Me Too, because those are two movies that you've talked to me a few times about.
hmm So
All right.
what is my film for this week, Dawson?
So Justin, your film for this week is a classic movie in history. It is probably the most well-known movie poster of all time.
Hmm.
It came out in 1985, and
I'm
your
watching
film
Star Wars.
and your, and your film for this week is Back to the Future.
Okay.
I just watched this movie recently with my uncle, and we both just loved it again. We watched the second one, we watched the third one. They're just such good films. They're so funny. They're so inventive. Some of the stuff in it it's an insanely good movie, and the concept shouldn't work at all, but
And
it works so well.
here's a little shocker for anybody who might watch this. I have only seen like five. I can't even. I don't even know how many movies I've seen, but I've not seen many of all. These are the best movies that everybody needs to watch. Like I haven't seen Titanic, haven't seen Forrest Gump, haven't seen anything like
I have a
those
Titanic
ones.
poster on my
Yeah,
wall
and you're named after him. I understand
because
that.
he's handsome. He's a handsome fella.
I just haven't seen those movies, so I'm gonna go watch Back to the Future. You're gonna go watch Next See Me, and we'll be back in a flash.
Yep, Flash.
And we're back. Me and Dawson both got finished watching our movies. As we said before, I watched Back to the Future. He watched Now You See Me Too, and I guess I will go first,
Mm-hmm.
reading off the synopsises and stuff. So, Back to the Future, everybody knows it. It's about Martin McFly, a 17-year-old high school student, is accidentally sent 30 years into the past in a time-traveling DeLorean invented by his close friend, the maverick scientist Doc Brown. Of course, starring Michael J. Fox as Martin McFly. Um, his name gets coughed, but it's Christopher something as Doc Brown. God
Christopher
dang,
Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, that is right. And then everybody else is played by people. But those are the two main characters of the film, of course. Directed by Robert Zemeckis. That's a name I've encountered before in my life. Zemeckis?
Zemeckis.
Zemeckis? You know what?
Robert Zemeckis.
We both have issues saying names sometimes.
I love listening to you struggle. It's my favorite.
Of course, it's a adventure, comedy, and a sci-fi released in the year 1985. And yeah, so my little spiel about the movie is I haven't seen this movie to entirety before. Now, this is my first time watching it from start to finish. Before, I've just seen like clips of it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
it's like because people throw clips of it in videos all the time, and like I've seen parts of it on TV. I'm sure, but it's my first time actually sitting down watching it from start to finish, all in one go. And there's a lot of things in it that don't hold up well, but I mean that's kind of a given for it being 1985.
And
Um,
also going back 30 years from 1985.
1955, yeah.
So, I mean, there's lots of stuff that, okay, go ahead.
Um, it is extremely cheesy at a lot of points, but that is
Hmm.
still a 1985. That's just the thing of the 80s is being cheesy, at least compared to today's standards. The sound effects were so horrible. But it was funny how bad the sound effects were sometimes. But I mean, that was just another product of the time. This movie is 100% just a product of the time. And I know things about like the part two and part three, and those are also like they couldn't really guess the future, so like those are also very big products of their time. But as a whole, this movie was okay. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. I found a few parts of the movie to be kind of eh, to put it
Like
nicely.
what?
Um, just like I'm trying to think of like parts. Like everybody knows like the whole kissing his mother thing is obviously just a weird thing. But I
No.
mean it's just kind of part of the movie that's just there. Um and like the thing like thoughts about time travel, at least within modern sci-fi, is completely different than it is back then. Um it's just like how we look at science fiction nowadays is we have a whole lot more advanced ideas than DeLorean that goes back 30 years. Now
They
yes.
touch they touch a lot more. See the things that I can see that you're pulling out of the movie that are kind of like questions like what how does this work? They answer it in part two. Like
Okay.
part two is a lot of answering what happened in the first movie and then also actually going to the future.
Okay.
Um, so I get what you're saying, but the question before you question the first movie too much, I can
Hmm.
see where you're coming from. Watch the second one. The third one is really its own thing, but the first two are highly connected to each other.
Is the third one the one that really goes to like the Wild
They
West?
yeah, Doc is sent way far back in the Wild West.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll give that a go, but I might give part two a go since that's also on Netflix.
Mhm.
Um, that's pretty much my spiel. It's this movie is 100% a product of its time. There's some movies in the 80s that I think age well, like Breakfast Club. That movie, when I watched it recently, I still felt like it was an incredibly good movie. But this, since they incorporated like so much sci-fi into it, like sci-fi sometimes doesn't age well. So this is one of the cases where it aged all right. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's all right.
Okay.
How do you feel about the more recent of the two movies being Nice to Me Too?
So Nice See Me Too is a movie that came out this year in 2016. It stars a pretty good cast of characters and people: Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Ruffalo, Woody Harrelson, Jack or Dave Franco, Daniel Radcliffe, and Lizzie Kaplan. And it kind of follows the story of this, which is the Four Horsemen resurface and are forcibly recruited by a tech genius to pull off the most impossible heist yet. Um, the first movie had okay ratings. Not amazing. It didn't make a lot of money, which is surprising why Lionsgate actually gave it a sequel. But I guess they felt there was some story to tell there, and that's probably why they funded it. I did enjoy this movie. I did. I love heist movies. I think they're a lot of fun. Um, I like seeing the trick work out. That's why I enjoy 21. That's why I enjoy Ocean's 11.
Ant
Um,
Man.
yeah, like
I mean,
no,
Ant Man works out in its own
Nah,
way.
no. I love Ant Man. I really love Ant Man, but not on the same level as these movies. When it comes to the heist, not even close. But I really did enjoy this. Did I think that it needed to happen? No. Do I think that the ending of the movie, basically being basically being a cliffhanger for the third one, do I really think we need a third one? No. But I enjoyed seeing these characters back in action. I'm a big fan of Jesse Eisenberg because he is, you know, the way he played Mark, not Mark, Mark Zuckerberg, and the way he played, most recently Lex Luthor, and the way he plays Atlas in the movie, they're all kind of the same characters. They're just high functioning geniuses,
Hmm.
and they're like Jesse Eisenberg doesn't really have a giant acting range. He kind of just plays the same characters, just in different costumes. Um, and I enjoy his character because it is crazy. And Woody Harrelson is just always fun to see on screen. Mark Ruffalo, he acted a lot like Bruce Banner in this movie in the sense that he fought a lot, and he got angry, and he is kind of I don't know what his deal is. I love the new chick. Her name is Lizzie, I believe, the actual actress. Yeah, Lizzie Kaplan, who plays Lula. I think she's cool. I honestly like her more than the last chick
Hmm.
because the last chick was kind of, I don't know. I mean, she almost died on set, so I can see why she didn't want to come back. But Lula added a lot of comedy to the movie, which I liked. Daniel Radcliffe, uh, I could see him being a villain. Didn't really suspect it fully until kind of, when it's kind of put in your face, like, I want you to steal something from me because I made something and it's out in the world and I need to hack. I'm a hacker now. Um, Dave Franco, always a great person to have in a movie. Just, comedic. He's the eye candy. He's also really smart. He can play a good character. So the characters in the movie were good. They were well developed. Um, I enjoyed the entire movie. I enjoyed seeing them plot. I enjoyed seeing, basically what was right in front of us kind of brought back up and say, okay, here's how the trick was done. There's just a lot of good parts in the movie where, we as the audience are looking for the fine details, and we spot a few of them. I spotted a few of the fine details that were kind of in plain sight. There's a few of them I was like, oh, they really did switch my attention somewhere else,
Hmm.
which I liked. I thought the ending was shit. Not the actual airplane thing. That was cool, but I actually liked seeing Morgan Freeman, which I didn't actually mention as one of the main cast because he's actually lower on the list. Morgan Freeman should never be lower on the list of actors. But I liked him as a villain.
Hmm.
I liked him as a villain. I thought he was a good villain, and I think it's pretty shitty that he's in control of all this, and that's just dumb. In my opinion, that's just really dumb. Like, me and your father are partners, and I know you hated me, so for 30 years, I just let you hate me, and then I went to prison for 18 months, and fuck off. Just, that's dumb. That's
Yeah,
dumb writing.
there's some plot points that are not great.
That's
I just
just
want to
dumb.
say one of my favorite scenes from Nice to Meet You is when they have the pizza technology on the playing card and they're just throwing around in between all of them.
Oh yeah, that's really
I
cool.
love that scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool scenes when Jesse Eisenberg is, he walks in and he has his whole tuxedo. He's a waiter, and all of a
Hmm.
sudden he just like pulls stuff off him. He clicks his shoes, they turn red. A lot of really cool scenery in this movie. This movie has great scenery. The whole thing with Jesse Eisenberg when he stops the water and he makes it float and go crazy, which he never does any of that. It's just strobing effects. That's what it does to water, guys. I have a strobing flashlight. I can make my sink look like it's a really cool waterfall. Um, there's a really lot of cool scenery, but the ending, the final reveal, the final reveal, not the whole thing of Daniel Radcliffe and Michael Caine's characters being caught. The final thing when Morgan Freeman's like, I just let you be a dick for all these years and be mad at me. That just felt like I want the eye to actually be something more.
Hmm.
I want to, like, because to me the eye was almost like the Illuminati. Like, come on, guys, it's the eye, it's the Illuminati. Bleh.
Yeah.
I want to see if that was on purpose. Because if they don't make a third movie, they're going to make a third movie. But if they don't, that's going to suck. But if they do make a third movie, I want to see why they made this decision to basically the biggest problem I have with the ending is we felt like the Horsemen were always in control, and then we find out that no, they were all tricked.
I just want to say,
The greatest heists, the greatest heist magicians that were all brought together were actually played.
mhm. I just
That
want
kind
to
of
say real
sucks.
quick that 1973 has been confirmed for the longest time.
Oh, it has been.
Yeah,
I haven't really
I just looked it up.
I haven't really paid much attention to seeing if Not Seeing Theory is a thing since I didn't see the second one.
Yeah.
But it sucks to see because they're still great heistmen. Because you got to think that a lot of the plans were actually made up by them. But
Hmm.
there are a few things that he had a hand in. There's persuasion. There's little, the whole thing of going down the tunnel, sleep, 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 sleep. All the different like there's imagery in the movie that they're persuaded a little bit, but when it comes down to it, they're supposed to be great heistmen. They're supposed to be in control, 2 steps ahead of the player. And the last 2 movies, we've basically been seeing them rused
Hmm.
and not in control. And they're basically being written out on paper, and they're playing their character's part. And that kind of sucks because I really like seeing these characters kind of come out on top. But when it comes to the whole movie, it's a good movie. But I wish that at the end it would have just went black, and that would have been done. And the whole Morgan Freeman coming back scene just never happened. Um, because I liked him as a villain. He was a good villain.
Yeah.
He was a good kind of like, he plays on his own team. He's not part of anybody else. He's his own person, and I
Like you had the
like that.
villain being Daniel Radcliffe. You had the
Yeah.
good guys being like Jesse
But
Eisenberg and
he
all of
was the
them.
roadblock, always kind of in the middle of them. He always kind of stopped them, like,
Yeah.
here's your roadblock. I like that, and to see him be like, I'm actually a good guy. Love me, even though I put you through hell for the past few years, or for the past year or so.
Fair
Put you
enough.
through hell, but hey, I'm also a good guy now, and your father is my partner, and he drowned in a safe, and that was kind of a weird thing. But that's pretty. There's a lot of weird stuff in this movie that I hope they explain the third one, and I hope the third one. This one is good. I don't want to like make it sound like it's trash. It's not a trash movie. It's good. I really really enjoyed it, and I would watch it again. I definitely would watch it again. It's just fuck all the stuff that I hoped from it were kind of like no, no, they're hit right now, hit right out of my hand.
Hmm.
But Justin, since I did a giant spiel, I want you to rate first. What is your rating for Back to the Future?
Back to the Future. I'm gonna give it a score because the score on IMDb is an 8.5, which is a pretty great score. Some movies don't get anywhere near like even an 8. Um, I I'm not gonna put it on such a high pedestal. I'm not going to put it on a low pedestal either. I'm going to put it at a 7.
Okay.
It's not amazing. It's not shit, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
So what is your thoughts on your rating for Now You See Me Too?
What's my thoughts on my rating?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to give Now You See Me 2 a 7 out of 10. I like I said, I enjoy a good magic trick,
Hmm.
and I enjoy a good ruse, and it was a lot of fun. And also on IMDb, Nice See Me 2 has a 6.6 out of 10.
Hmm.
I agree with. I mean, I can also agree with that because you round it up a little bit to 7.
Yeah.
But but yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Justin, could you take us out?
So there,
Maybe.
I if you would stop talking, I would.
No, I'm never gonna stop talking. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk all the way through this. I'm not. I don't care.
I'd like to thank y'all for watching.
I don't.
Let us know down below what do you think of these movies. And that's it for this week. We'll be back for Throwback Thursday, and then following that will be Animation Saturday. So check those out. Also check out the ones
Probably.
from last week. And we'll
Depends if I
see
show
y'all
up.
next time.
I'm not gonna show up for those.